Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tanner's Favorite Things. Today we have another unboxing, so let's go ahead and dig into this and talk while I unbox. Not sure what all of this is supposed to be. I guess it was supposed to be a bracing of some kind, but it kind of got crumpled as it was shipped, but looks like the main event here is okay. So let's just cut some of this tape away. And you can see we have a Celestion TrueVox 1525 15-inch speaker. So let's go ahead and take this out here. So not only are we going to unbox, I not only wanted to unbox this speaker, the second part of this video is going to be installing the speaker in a 2x15 cab and hooking it up to an amp and seeing what kind of sounds we can get out of it. But this speaker has been reconed, and I believe that even the voice coil was replaced on it as well. A lot of repairs have been made to this speaker. Not exactly sure what brought it to the state that it needed to be repaired, but it has been repaired with a bunch of really high-end components. Let's flip it over and take a look at the magnet. So again, Celestion TrueVox 1525. You'll see this PMR sticker right here. PMR is PM Reproductions, which does a lot of refurbishment of speakers like this. You can see there's some dings on the outside. This thing obviously has seen a lot of use, but the people at PMR have taken great steps to tell you what has been done to it here. You've got all of this yellow marker telling you what's going on. The most important thing that I want to take from this is that it's an 8 ohm speaker and it is a 400 watt load that it takes. There's also some markings here. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Pretty much the same exact items that are printed along the speaker as well. Alright, here we are in the garage, and the only reason I did not bring this cabinet downstairs into my jam room is because I don't think it'll fit. And if you take a look why, it's freaking huge. This is a 215 cabinet made by the brand Acoustic. There you go, Acoustic. This is from the late 70s or early 80s, I would say. I'm not 100% sure. It's really hard to date these. But based on the handles and how much it's been used, I would say late 70s, early 80s. But this thing came to me empty, except for the horn, obviously. That's pretty integral to the cabinet. I'm sure you can remove it, but I don't even know how, probably from the inside. But it came without drivers. So there were two empty holes right here. Let's go ahead and open up this panel. This is kind of a two-hand job here. So when I remove the faceplate here, you can see that I have one driver installed. This speaker is one of my most tried and true drivers, and it's a 15-inch Celestion. I'll have to double check on the exact model, but it is a big old 15-inch bass amplifier speaker. This is the driver that I replaced the stock Fender speaker with in my Fender Rumble 200 amp. That's my stock bass amp. It's just a combo, single 15, and it cranks. I had this speaker in there until late, but I decided that I wanted two Celestion speakers in this cabinet instead, so I replaced that speaker with an Eminence and put the Celestion in position 1 here, and I'm going to put this newly unboxed Celestion speaker in position 2. So let's just take a quick shot of the top here and these handles, and then we'll spin it around and show you the back side. 3/4 inch plywood, nicer material than you find in newer cabinets, and I'm not exactly sure how it's wired up. We'll figure that out, but let's spin it around. So luckily this thing has some casters, because without, I don't know how you'd be able to move this thing. It's just way heavy without speakers, let alone with these two massive 15-inch Celestion drivers. But the back of it is where things get a little rougher. You can see the edges are coming loose of the Tolex here. Not anything that would change the sound of the cabinet, but you can tell that wear is taking its toll. This entire edge is held together by thumbtacks. A novel concept, but not exactly what Acoustic had in mind. There is a badge back here. It says GB2148 as the serial number. I'll have to do a little research and see if I can find a date embedded within that serial number. Other than that, you can see our input jack right here and a what appears to be 4mm or maybe an American-sized Allen head screw here that fastens the hole back to the rest of the cabinet. All right, let's get this thing installed and see what she sounds like. All right, let's turn this bad boy over, get this speaker installed, and hear how she sounds. Okay. Now this speaker is held on by a pretty novel system here. It's these set screws that have little clamps on them, and they hold down the speaker pretty dang tight. Our cabinet is ready to go. Alright, so here we are with the bass. We have our Fender 5-string precision bass. It's called a PV bass or a precision V bass, and it has a low B string, which is different than the regular 4-string P bass. But this is one of my favorite instruments, and we're going to test this set of speakers on this bass, and we're going to plug a guitar through it as well. So here we go. Here's the bass. What we have for our setup: Quilter 101 mini reverb 50-watt head. And this is equally effective as a bass head as it is a guitar head in my experience. Most people will use it as a guitar head, but solid state amp, you can't go wrong with this combination. So this will be on pretty much 50 watts all the way cranked, and then our gain is right around 7. So pretty high. We've got this thing almost dimed, but not quite. And from our speakers we have 2 microphones. We have the Sennheiser E906 capturing the right speaker, your left speaker. Then we have the MXL V250 condenser microphone capturing this section of the cabinet, which includes this older Celestion speaker that I had already, as well as the horn. Both of those microphones are being fed into my Focusrite 2i2 Gen 3 interface, and that's being captured right behind me. No tricks up my sleeve here, just bass into amp, into cab, into microphones for your enjoyment. Again, this cabinet is so heavy. It's probably 60 pounds, maybe even 70 pounds, so I by myself don't feel comfortable hauling it down a set of stairs to bring it inside. So there may be some ambient noises outside. I apologize, that's the nature of these things, but here we go. Sound demo: bass into the 2x15 acoustic cabinet through the Quilter 101 mini reverb head amp. Alright, let's hear what the guitar sounds like. Alright, so here we go with my 2013 Fender Stratocaster. This is a US Stratocaster standard, and it sounds like this. So far, the guitar sounds equally at home on these speakers. I thought they might be a little flubbier than your standard 12-inch, but they're not. They're really tight. They sound great. Alright, we all love cleans, but what we love more is the metal zone. Well, I would say this thing sounds awesome. I have no idea what the acoustics in this room are going to sound like, so we'll have to go back and listen to the takes. But that's a little taste of what this Acoustic 201 2x15-inch speaker cabinet can do. I would say it's probably more recommended towards bass, but it sounds great with guitar. Of course, this little amp isn't pushing these speakers to their fullest, but I think if we were to add a tube amp down the line, I just didn't want to break my back bringing it all upstairs, but once we add a tube amp to this, I'll add a revised video and show you what that sounds like as well.
So feel free to like and subscribe if you like this content. That always helps. And of course, I hope to see you on the next one.